It is beyond time that we admit we have a serious, serious problem in this country when it comes to viewing live sports. We saw the big story of Spectrum and their huge dispute with ESPN. A lot of people, Spectrum users, unable to watch the college football games over the weekend on ESPN networks, ABC. The ratings were terrible for every single ESPN/ABC game. They had no games inside of the top 8 because one of the major cable providers wasn't even airing those games. So the dynamic right now becomes, and also you have these disputes popping up almost every month. It's just so remarkable how we can pay for a cable package and out of nowhere, that one of the main channels from that package gets removed after we paid for it. And it's a multi-month dispute. You've got DirecTV going through their dispute with Fox. That's been, they've shut Fox off for, a month and a half, maybe 2 months at this point with the NFL season coming up. Now, you can still get Fox because it is a local channel. But, guys, I want to talk about where we are right now, the comparison between streaming versus cable. I think the first thing that we have to admit, and I'll admit this even as a young person, because there seems to be some narrative that, oh, if you're young, you like, streaming better than cable. Guys, there's no doubt about it. Cable is far better than streaming when it comes to live sports, when it comes to pretty much anything. All right, now, obviously, when you're talking about different shows and programs like Netflix, things like that, that's something different. When we're just talking about consuming content through a channel, by far the better experience is cable, and it's not close. And obviously, cable is going to cost more. And so streaming versus cable, it's a very complicated topic because there's so much that's gone into it. The thought has always been streaming is so much cheaper, but now you've got YouTube TV raising their rates pretty significantly. We're going to go through this, and then I'm going to give my overall point. Where does TV go from here? Because we have some people with DirecTV, you've got people with AT&T, you've got people with YouTube TV, it's streaming versus cable, no one has the same thing. What we really need is some type of, I would say probably streaming option, because streaming is cheaper than cable, and I don't think young people are going to be paying $150 a month for TV alone, maybe TV and internet, but just in general, with the purchasing power going down so much, they're going to want a cheaper option, and we're going to do some comparisons here, and you can see this is just a graph, streaming versus cable. Cheapest option is streaming, but that's getting closer now. It's remarkable, but yes, it is still streaming. Best contract, obviously streaming. Cable is a complete nightmare when it comes to contracts. Best channel, variety, cable for sure, although you can get, customize your package with streaming a little bit better, but definitely cable. Even their standard packages, I've had streaming with Sling, with YouTube TV, it's not even close in terms of the sports channels, and we're mainly focusing on the sports channels because really when it comes to TV and how it's evolved, is it wrong for me to say that TV, outside of maybe a few different type of people, is mainly focused around live sports? Because think about it, for all of our shows that we used to watch on TV, we're all watching those on Netflix, and now it's so crazy. And it's not just Netflix, it's all of them, but I'm just using Netflix as an example. Best video quality, yeah, that's a complete lie. So I don't know, they say streaming is, for college sports or really any sports, zero chance you're getting better video quality through streaming, zero. And then you say, oh, my internet's good. Yeah, but you also have to understand, even to the people that say they have great internet and they stream in full HD, the other issue is when it comes to watching live sports, you really can't channel flip. So cable is far superior in terms of that. And then just taking a look at the costs, YouTube TV already up to $73, Hulu at $70. You've got Fubo at $70. They're all basically at $75. If you want to get a legitimate package, yeah, it's going to cost you about $70, $75 per month. And then Sling, they do offer some sports packages, things like that. They've upped theirs as well because they were originally around $30. Now they're up to, if you want to get like a legit sports package, I'm sure it's going to be $55. Their basic one's going to have, not enough there. So in trying to identify the key problem and the solution to cable and streaming and all the issues that we've had, and how can we solve this. The main issue with streaming is the video quality. It is the lag. Although some people say, it's not too bad. It depends on your internet. I think the solution possibly could be Apple TV, because we know how big Apple is. We've heard the rumors. They could possibly be adding ESPN and owning ESPN if they do buy them. To me, the number one potential, if we're going to have a monopoly, and I'm not saying, like, right now it is the exact opposite of a monopoly, but the idea would be someone just does this right and we get all these channels and it's perfectly normal and most people use it. It's just like the iPhone. Many people in America have the iPhone. I know it's like roughly 50-50 iPhone, Android, but it seems like everyone has an iPhone. I don't know. This is the same type of idea. Apple TV, they get ESPN, they get ESPN2, ESPNU, all of it, and they create their own massive TV package. And then the issue after that is, how do you bundle that with an internet that doesn't cost very much, depending on how much Apple TV costs? Because right now Apple TV is dirt cheap. It's like $5, $10 a month, depending. The issue, of course, with that is if they do get ESPN, it's going to go up significantly. How much is it going to go up? It's going to go 15, 20, 35, 40, depending on which channels and what their lineup is. And the hope is that they would have a standard. Like, what I want is, I just want, when I see DirecTV, I see AT&T Uverse, I would love to have that lineup with a streaming. But again, the issue is, it's like, we need the technology to get better when it comes to streaming, because the streaming, when I load up a smart TV, it's still complete crap. It's just not a fun experience to watch. It feels like when I try and change channels on streaming, it's like I'm stationary. There's no easy flip. And even with DirecTV, I've also noticed, comparison to AT&T Uverse, I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, I'm guessing AT&T Uverse is probably the most expensive in terms of DirecTV versus AT&T. DirecTV, changing channels is a bit more annoying. AT&T Uverse, it's like a snap. And then with streaming, it's just a complete nightmare. So I think the future is getting the streaming to be better. Possibly Apple TV takes over a monopoly if they get the rights to ESPN. And they own that, and they get ABC, and they get all of it, and they offer their own package at maybe a significantly reduced rate, although that's to be determined. Maybe they want to be competitive with Fubo, with Sling, with all of them, and they come in at $60 or $70, but the issue is we're also going to have to pay for internet on top of that, and that's the whole idea of when you bundle cable and internet together, it's roughly the same as bundling internet and streaming together, and at that point, there's no way I would take streaming over cable, because cable is going to give me more channels, it's going to give me a better picture. And this is why this whole thing is so annoying and so complicated, because it seems like there's no perfect right answer. Maybe Apple has the answer if they really want to get into this, and it seems like they're see, you hear the rumors that Apple, they want to get in with ESPN. I know exactly why, or at least I can hypothesize on why they're seeing this exact argument. We're just like, what do we do? I mean, there's like 40 different things, and none of them are great. They're all average. There's all pros and cons with all of them. There is no, like, when you compare an iPhone to another phone, it's like, all right, you might say this other phone, it's cheaper, it's got a better camera, it's this, it's that. But if we do like a comparison of 20 different things, the iPhone's probably going to win in 17 of them. And I'm not even obsessed with an iPhone. I'm just saying it is a good product when you look at what we have on the market right now. There's no denying that. And then we have the Bally Sports crap. So Bally Sports, they ended up losing officially. Well, they went bankrupt. Their parent company goes bankrupt. Bally Sports, which is honestly, in a few words, Ponzi scheme. It's a complete joke. It's a horrible product. It has a horrible scoreboard that's massive. And honestly, I miss Fox when it comes to MLB games, the local games. The Fox score bug was way better. But Bally Sports has lost the San Diego Padres. I believe that happened back in June. And then they recently lost the Arizona Diamondbacks. They were able to work out a deal with the Rangers to keep them on Bally Sports. Is it like Southeast or something, or South or something? I don't know exactly what it is, but to keep them on there. But there is a lot of uncertainty here at the end of the season. MLB right now is airing the rest of the Diamondbacks games just through like their MLB TV standard package that they have. They've got a decent score bug, whatever. But at this point, I would really like to see and I don't think it's going to happen because it seems to be dying at this point when it comes to MLB games and like the local regional games and the TV rights to them. I would love to see Fox get those back because I think they had a really good product when they had them, but it's been Bally Sports the last 3 years, and it is a complete mess. It is interesting that Bally's been able to keep the rights to a lot of these teams as the fight is currently going on through the courts, because the rumor was that they were going to lose pretty much everyone outside of 4 or 5 of the most lucrative teams that they could theoretically hang on to the end of the season. But we'll have to see what ends up happening with this Bally Sports situation. Certainly, just the whole presentation of Bally Sports, the graphics package is really cheap. It's like Bally Sports, the equivalent, I would say, it's like the Dollar General version of TV production, like live sports production. That would be my comparison. I mean, maybe that's too harsh, but I don't know. Either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.